Map 2 here, and it is all very, very exciting. Spawning down in the bottom left hand position, we have the purple Terran player, currently 1-0 up in this best of 3. Representing Millennium, it's DieStar. And his opponent to the top right, now battling to stay within this qualifier for any chance to be in Season 2 of WCS EU. Representing ATN, KnowMe. Both of these two players going to be sitting and focusing very intently, because regardless of being a game up, DieStar wants to take this 2-0. He wants to make sure that everything goes smoothly and he just advances through without any stress. Because if you win 2-0, it builds your confidence up. You're like, yeah, I got this. I can take it. Gonna be seeing the wins. Whereas, if he loses a game, even if he goes on to win the series after that, it's still a little bit awkward. It's still a bit like, what could I have done better, etc. For the moment, though, we've got KnowMe scouting quite early, going for a gateway first. So while he does have a base within his base, he's not taking that base. DieStar, however, he is. He's feeling very confident. He's like, there's nothing he could do against me. I'll be fine. But are those going to be famous last words? Probably not. Anyway, quick little move now. As we just see, obviously the first scout coming down from KnowMe. Going to be able to see that his opponent has spawned cross spawns and is a long way away. Going to also probably going to check to see whether there is a natural base. And he's going to go, yep, that was a CC first I'm playing up against. That could trigger a lot of aggression. Could trigger something like a proxy Stargate, which wouldn't be a bad move. Just trying to punish that greediness out of DieStar. Alternatively, KnowMe could just go and take his own natural base nice and quick and try and catch up economically. So things still pretty level. Nothing insane going off yet. Nothing that makes us sit there and start screaming at our monitors that someone's about to win or lose imminently. And that's really to be expected, because Outer Rim is a huge map. That probe taking quite a chunk of damage, actually. Gonna have to back out of there. Its shields will regenerate, but a little bit annoying. The double barracks as well, off the back of this CC first, is a completely safe build for DieStar. Meanwhile, KnowMe, he's chrono boosting out a Stalker to go and join that Zealot. No sign of his mothership core yet, or a natural base. So delaying that natural by having 4 probes in gas, but also not rushing out any tech with, say, 6 probes in gas. Just taking the nice standard safe approach. Unfortunately, a really safe approach can cause a couple of problems. The reason for that is that if you're doing everything the way it's meant to be done and you're not cutting any corners, you're also not getting any advantages. We're seeing a bit of variation now from KnowMe, who is throwing down a proxy robotics facility. This could be quite useful. Gonna be interesting to see what comes out of it. We've also got a proxy gateway alongside it. Hasn't yet been seen by DieStar. He's just scouting his opponent now. The Stalker, though, stops him getting down to the natural base. And that leaves a lot to be questioned. Because basically DieStar is now sitting in a situation where he's like, well, he must be doing something, but I don't know if he's got an expansion. If there's an expansion, seeing only this is absolutely fine. And you won't really expect 2 gates and a robotics facility to be proxied. However, DieStar is moving forward now. He's going to find this, and this is a great discovery for him. Did have some suspicion, and oh, hi there. That's a robotics facility. Now he sees the proxy robo, but doesn't see the proxy gateways. And actually that's quite annoying. Double bunker coming down. Observer, of course, already here, and sniping that off is really important. So he's getting down some Stalkers, a lot of SCVs getting pulled here, and DieStar could be in some trouble because he won't be able to get an Immortal out in time now. These Marines will be able to kill off a pylon so fast, and that means that the Immortal will stop being produced. There's only these 2 gateways, which aren't really doing that much. The Stalker at the back being a little bit irritating. If they focus down the pylons, though, this shuts down all production. Mothership core coming over as well. Down goes the pylon, no additional production going to be coming through. The SCV's been able to kill that off. But a retreat gonna have to come down now from DieStar, who lost quite a lot of units trying to shut down this proxiness. And while he has delayed it, he hasn't stopped it. But it's bought time to get some more bunkers out, bought time to start more order production. And of course, being just a little bit annoying for KnowMe. But KnowMe, Warp Gate Tech is done. He's got a lot more pylons here now. And, well, if we see this immortal push go well, it could be very strong. The Observer really is key. It grants the high ground vision, allowing those Stalkers and Immortals to attack up the ramp, maybe trying to pick off these bunkers. But no, DieStar put these bunkers a little bit further back. He's saying, okay, if you want to come and engage me, you've got to walk up this ramp where I'm going to be able to get an amazing concave. I'm not going to leave it open in order to allow these bunkers to get picked off from over the wall. Unfortunately though, this one is a little bit too close, so can get attacked, and this is forcing DieStar to pull a lot of SCVs to repair. Worker count is in DieStar's favour, who's got his natural base. KnowMe is all in with this. He doesn't have an expansion, and can't really transition out when all of his tech's being proxied. However, Warp Prism ready to deposit units into the natural base, and this circumvents the big bunker defense coming at that main ramp. A wave of warp-ins going to be coming out as well. Now, this should force some units back to try and defend, but it also is going to force a retreat from this natural. By no means the end of the world, though. DieStar still up in workers and has had that base mining for quite a long time. In terms of army supply, though, KnowMe, he is ahead. More bunkers being forced just to try and make sure that he isn't going to lose to any really aggressive stuff. An Immortal, 2 Zealots and a Sentry from the side, some Stalkers on the ground. The Warp Prism bringing up those Sentries from the low ground. Quick little Time Warp, going to try and stop the infantry from moving too far. And a lift on this Orbital Command from the natural base, going to have to move away. Couple more shots coming down. The SCVs frantically trying to get in to repair that bunker. The 2 force fields blocking a lot of them out, but there's still enough repairing. Zealots, however, doing a lot of damage to that infantry. And with the double Time Warp, the SCVs trying to chase this down, going to take substantial amounts of damage. But for now, DieStar is holding. And more importantly, he's still up in workers. He's still got that natural base. And KnowMe doesn't really have anything to respond to it. He can deny the natural for quite a while. He can keep producing and keep pressuring. But with things like mines now in production, there are one-shot gateway units. We need to see KnowMe do something big and quite quick. Because as a defensive position goes, this is astounding for DieStar. Where is the Observer? Sitting out the front. This needs to come up to scout out that the mines are there. So knows there's 2 mines in position. They need to get picked off first. The Stalkers can do that from afar, as can the Immortals. And by taking down these mines, it's a bit safer moving forward. One goes down, another one able to escape. Of course, this Observer's still there. It's worth noting DieStar can see it shimmering away, so could use a scan to do that, but instead muling heavily. These Zealots now coming up. The mine able to get a shot off there. Actually, no, he didn't get a shot off. It died before it triggered. Factory, unfortunately, though, going to go down. The starport also in a very vulnerable location. KnowMe, considering how invested he is in this, taking it slow. DieStar, though, surrounding with SCVs. Good force fields zone out the majority of DieStar's army. However, the fact these SCVs have blocked the retreat means that a lot of these units are caught as the force fields fade. Still in. More damage being done. And KnowMe only able to escape with those 2 Immortals. Another Immortal is obviously there. There's 3 in total, a 4th one on its way. But with no gateway support, it's going to be very challenging for KnowMe to try and actually push up that ramp and finish things off. He's still all in. He doesn't have any expansion off the back of this. He doesn't have much money in the bank. Everything is going into unit production. But unlike earlier, there is actually an upgrade lead. An overall army supply lead for DieStar. Nice pick off there, but if the that Warp Prism just gets out. That would have been huge. Mothership Core as well has been taken out and not remade, so no more Time Warps. And that means that all we've got is... Actually, no, there's no high ground vision apart from the Warp Prism. The Observer has been remade. It did die. There definitely wasn't one. And this Observer, just as before, critically important. Natural base now getting retaken. A quick check around for any kind of pylons. And a drop coming through now from DieStar. But likewise, KnowMe going for a little bit of a drop. Only a couple of Zealots, but the Warp Prism can become a power point and allow some more warpings to come in. Orbit Command, taking quite a bit of damage, is on fire now. Needs to get repaired up, otherwise it will eventually die, slowly burn away. At the front, 4-5 Immortals moving on up. Guardian Shield triggered as well, just to reduce the damage they take, and the bunker's getting focused. This is a large army. The force field's going to try and prevent any repairs from coming through. One bunker still there. KnowMe up the ramp. However, back at his main, he's about to get all of his workers slaughtered because there is a drop coming through. This really commits KnowMe to just winning outright here. His observer still in a nice position, but can't see the mines yet, and if they get some good shots off, it could be huge. The SCVs trying to engage, but actually a lot of SCVs died to that mine head or take a lot of damage. The Immortals getting focused, but there's still 4 there. There's not that much in terms of overall army for either player, but without gateway support, these Immortals can get focused thanks to the buffering of the SCVs. Back at home, all the probes pretty much have been killed or evacuated, and that puts DieStar in a very good spot. He's lacking a lot of units though. A nice little hot pickup saves the Immortal. But still, this game, very, very tense. Worker count is 12-9. Army supply 18-70. Could go either way. KnowMe doesn't actually have anything much left. No Nexus, not enough money to make another one. So it's only his army standing that's a threat. And what we actually see is, firstly, the Starport producing a Viking. With no anti-air, bar the sentry, this Warp Prism will die. That prevents quick little pickups and runaways. And with the drop coming over as well, we're preparing to see DieStar try to take out these Immortals. He's still got some income thanks to these 2 mules, and producing a couple of Marines at a time. The other medevac coming through now, and this should spell the end of these Immortals and potentially the end of KnowMe. The Viking comes out, forcing that Warp Prism to drop the final Immortal. Nice little bit of pick up and drop micro. It's going to allow him to trade relatively well, and believe it or not, KnowMe with some beautiful micro play able to keep things going. 9-15 army supply. The trouble is, the last bit of anti-air, the sentry, is now dead. There is, however, no, never mind, he doesn't have enough. I thought KnowMe had enough to make a sentry, but he doesn't. So, worst case scenario is DieStar can force a draw now. Although DieStar should just win, because he can float this away, he can go and get the mules. It's getting followed, but it's not a problem. There's still income, ultimately, and even if there wasn't, DieStar could just lift, float to the corners, and there is nothing that KnowMe could do. He couldn't get any anti-air, let alone actually any air units to go and chase things to the corner of the map. So, DieStar can now either win or tie. But considering there's only a couple of probes in the 2 Immortals, a tie does seem more likely. More Marines getting made. This 1 Immortal very, very low. The important thing is that the Immortals trade as cost effectively as possible. Good little use of picking up in that medevac. Correct decision to lift those barracks. Doesn't want them getting taken out. The 3 Vikings landed additionally. A lot of probes getting taken out, but it's the Immortals that need to get focused. One goes down, the second one very low, and once that's dead, KnowMe will have nothing left. Probes getting taken out, SCVs chasing this Immortal. And this is all that remains. 1 army supply somewhere in the form of, in the form of an observer, and 1 lone probe trying to end it. But GG, good luck, and DieStar takes this series 2-0.